There you go.
Hi everyone, I'm drinking coffee at probably my favourite coffee shop here in Manchester. It's called Eastern Bloc, if you could just film the entrance there. The best loyalty card, and it is the nicest coffee they do. Anyway, enough of a plug, they didn't ask me to do this. This is a message for Greater Manchester Police about your very publicised, I saw it on BBC News, I saw it in the Manchester Evening News, it's in the Daily Mirror today. Manchester Police are the first police force in the world to hand out 10,000 scratch and sniff cannabis cards so that ordinary members of the public can smell what cannabis smells like, and then they could sniff out their neighbours' grow operations and like, oh, and then they can go and snitch to the police. I've got a much better idea for the general public and for you, Greater Manchester Police. This message to all the police and to all the people out there: if you don't know what cannabis smells like, it's a natural plant that grows naturally all over the world, and much better than like some weird ass Soviet and also Stasi kind of way of snitching on your neighbors for trying to make a buck in this difficult economic recession. If you want to know what cannabis smells like, if you get a faint whiff of like fun or cannabis coming from a house, maybe knock on their door, ask them for a spliff, smoke a spliff with them, and once you've smoked it, maybe you won't judge the people so much. In our world where people are getting bombed to pieces, there's terrorist groups including the CIA going around doing all sorts of crazy shit, and Greater Manchester Police are handing out scratch and sniff cards for people to snitch in people. Scratch, sniff, and snitch. Scratch, sniff, and snitch. You shouldn't know about, like, just smoke a joint with them, and then you won't want to snitch them up. Stacey wants to say something.
As well, isn't it funny that they don't actually focus on violent crime? You still have yet to have the guy who assaulted you publicly arrested, and yet they've got all the time in the world to go and promote this scratch and sniff thing. You know, meanwhile in Greater Manchester, people are getting raped and murdered left, right and centre. Good job, Greater Manchester Police.
Okay, Manchester, it's a bit of a dangerous place. Like, if you look at the crime statistics, it can be quite violent. And the other day in Rochdale, a 90-year-old granny got sexually assaulted in broad daylight. And at a time when grannies are being raped in public, you're handing out scratch and sniff cards for cannabis. Uruguay's made it legal. Colorado's made it legal. California's made it legal. Holland has had it legal for ages. Portugal's decriminalised it. Tolerated. Portugal's decriminalised it. And Manchester Police, using taxpayers' money to hand out scratch and sniff and snitch, pisses me off. That's all I have to say on this matter.